What's up, collectors? Today I'm going to be reviewing the ODST Squad Ambush by Mega Construx. It's a Halo set with 99 pieces. Let's get started. So in this set, there are 4 figures, and a small barricade, and a turret. For the price of about $16, more like probably $28 to $30 now on Amazon for this set, what you'll get are 2 ODST figures and 2 Covenant Brute figures. All 4 figures come with a dark gray stand, and we're going to start by reviewing, I think, the scenery first, which is just this one concrete barrier wall. It looks realistic towards something you might want to find in Halo 3 ODST for, this being an ODST collector set. It's got this really nice marbling pattern between the gray and the blacks that are kind of in there. And it looks dirty, it looks real, it looks like something that could have been in the game. So that's actually a useful piece of cover. And here we have a Covenant turret, and of course you see many of these in the game, this kind of thing. This is in a very dark red with almost a pink or purpley hue to it. And there's obviously this bright red piece here, which is used to make the turret stand a little taller. And there's this nice new piece, which makes it look like it's shooting. In general, I'm not such a fan of the color difference right down here. I think it could have been better, and I know Covenant accents are often the light blue, like the glowing or whooshing effect kind of thing. More like this, so I would prefer that kind of color to this red color, which seems out of place. The lighting's a little dark right now, so you can't see the figure super well. Maybe that's good. It gives you the ODST vibes. I'm going to start with the Brutes, and I think they're the highlight of this set. So here you can see the Brutes are very dark gray for the bottom skin tone color for them. And they have black jumpsuits, and they have black armor with red tracing on it, or outlines. And that's meant to mimic the effect of visor in the Halo 3 ODST game, where the ODSTs would see the outlines of the Brutes. And because of their enemies, I suppose it came red. This Brute is holding like the Brute plasma rifle because it's red, which was, I think, more apparent in Halo 3. Halo 2. I don't think they did it in Halo 3. This figure's a really nice Brute. He's a good figure. And he's a Brute Minor, which is useful because right with him you get the Brute Captain, which can also be used as a Brute Bodyguard or maybe even a Brute Major. I guess it depends. But he's listed as Brute Captain on the box. He's got the same kind of red, burgundy, dark, basically dark red Brute shot this time, and he's got these nice red outlines in the black armor, which you're probably not seeing because of the lighting. Here you go. And it even continues on much to the back, which is great detail by Mega Construx. And they look really cool and intimidating in this darker black kind of color. So we'll be done with the Brutes now. I'll fix this turret. And now we get to the ODSTs, which I think is one of the disappointing aspects of this set. So you could argue the same for the Brutes, but I'm going to go ahead and just make the argument now. I do not like this Radio Pack ODST. I don't understand, if you're going to army build this set, which is kind of great for the Brutes. I think, we'll talk about ratio a lot on my channel because I think that's important. It doesn't necessarily look right to have 1 Brute Captain for every 1 Brute Minor, but if you're playing on a harder difficulty like Legendary, it's much more likely that you'll see something like that. But from all the lore and canon we've seen in the Halo universe, it doesn't make sense to have this ODST with the extra, goggles or, basically tech stuff on his forehead, on this helmet here. We would expect to see many more of this kind of ODST. Even in Halo 3 ODST, there's, only Romeo has that kind of attachment, and the other 4 or 5 ODSTs all have either the standard helmet, and there's just the one Oni Dare with the special helmet. So I think, it's called ODST Squad Ambush, so you assume, I'm actually going to make a squad by maybe 1 or 2 more of these, but then you're stuck with half of them being this Radio Pack guy, and I really just don't think that's good for army building. But let's talk about the figures a little more before I go into some of the other aspects. They've got this light gray secondary color to this kind of, washed out green color. I think it's an interesting choice for having the Brutes be so atmospheric to the games and so correct with this dark coloring. You see he's got a light gray backpack, all these accessories. The weapons are dark gray and the backpacks are light gray. It has a very dark blue visor. I think the coloring is pretty good. It's balanced between the two. this new suppressor on the SMG, which is actually the attachment piece, so it'll come off if you just pull it off, and it can also accept the sight on the rail. I do not like, which I'm sure you know in the Mega Bloks community is pretty common, that, you know, the stubby looking SMG thing isn't working for us. And, you know, I think that's fair. I think they definitely could have done better. It should just be a little bit longer, and definitely the diameter should decrease, I think, quite a bit if they can. But this is the better of the two figures, and I'm going to talk about the next figure, which is this Radio Man. I tried to put him in like an army, you know, toy soldier pose because he's on the radio. But, you know, the radio is a great piece to have. I don't know how useful it is in this very light color, but, you know, this is also a good slate for customization because it's so light. So, you know, I'll give them credit for that, I guess. Matches his colors well. I mean, he has good detail. The paint lines, as you've noticed, are a little off on both of them. And this one's print under his visor is not good either, if you can see that at the top. Didn't print his on all the way, but he's a good figure otherwise. I think the Socom pistol could use an update. They've been using that same mold forever. And I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But, you know, maybe it's just such a flat design compared to all the others. It's got the weird, you know, square. I just feel like they could do a little more with it, but I see now that the Halo Infinite pistol is totally different, so we'll see if they ever decide to go back to this mold at all. So now I want to talk a little bit more about this set, and then we'll decide whether or not it was a good price and good value. I think the second problem, largest problem with this set, other than the fact that the ratio is really bad on the ODSTs team, as far as having this radio guy here, is the ODST coloring. I get it, and I know lots of people kind of like this green color. You know, some people call it desert, other people might call it, you know, who knows, woodland, jungle, kind of, you know, this infantry color. But even the Marines, I mean, if we compare one of the more recent Marines here, it's a much darker green. And, you know, they wear this in the urban environment. So why are these ODSTs, you know, in a game based off nighttime, wearing this very light armor? Like, I get that this is a new colorway, and it's exciting and interesting, of course. And it's a toy, so you have to look different and make them interesting to look at. But I think they went completely wrong here. I think this would be a much better army builder if they were dark-colored ODSTs, like the ODST Customizer Pack, where you had a really dark gray ODST, maybe even a silver one. And then also, maybe if they had another helmet for this guy, so he could be just a standard one too. That way, if I had 2 of these, I could have 3 normal ODSTs and the 1 radio pack one, and then I would be satisfied. But in the current condition of this set, you know, I'm not happy with the ODST color, nor the decisions as far as their design, and deciding to, you know, have one that's different. I absolutely get it. For having one, this is great value because you have, you know, each character is unique in their own right, but for army building, it just seems very off to me that this ODST here would be so unique. And with that, I mean, leave your comments and thoughts below. Should they have gone with a different color for the ODSTs? I think it would have been a little more atmospheric, a little more true to the lore, and that really would have rounded out this set. Also, should they have added more? I know it's a big complaint that there isn't a lot in this set for $16. So you're paying about $4 per figure, because let's be real, the barricade and the turret are not much scenery. But I think a good addition nonetheless. So what do you think about this set? Leave your comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one, collectors. Happy hunting.